Hello, everyone. Wait, I need you to stop everything and really listen to what I'm about to share with you. There's something happening in your life right now that nobody can touch, nobody can take from you, nobody can diminish or invalidate or steal. And the reason I'm getting such strong energy around this is because you might not be fully recognizing what you already have. Welcome back. It's Anna. And what I'm sensing today is this quality of something sacred that's already present in your experience, not coming to you, but already here, already yours, already real. Let me explain what I'm picking up on. You may notice lately that there's something inside you that feels different than it used to. A kind of knowing, a kind of certainty, a kind of inner foundation that wasn't there before. Some people experience this as a quiet confidence that doesn't need to announce itself. You're not walking around declaring how strong you are, but you can feel it in your body, in how you move through your days, in how you respond to situations that used to shake you. It can feel like you're sitting at your desk or walking down the street or lying in bed at night, and there's this awareness that something fundamental has shifted. Not shifting, has shifted. Past tense. Already done. Let's pause for a moment because this feels important, really important. This reflection invites you to consider, what if the blessing you've been asking for is already present? What if it's not a future event, but a current state of being? You may notice yourself carrying something now that you weren't carrying before. Maybe it's clarity about what you want. Maybe it's peace about who you are. Maybe it's determination that doesn't waver when things get hard. That's the blessing, that inner shift, that internal transformation. And nobody can take that from you. In some situations, we wait for external validation of our internal growth. We wait for the promotion or the relationship or the recognition to confirm that, yes, we've changed. But the change itself, that's already complete. Hold on. Let me slow down because I want you to really understand this. There's this quality in your current experience that suggests rapid internal development, not future development, but present state. Like you've been growing at a pace that even you haven't fully registered. It's possible you're dismissing your own progress because it doesn't look how you thought it would, because you're still in the same job or the same city or the same relationship. But internal transformation, that's happening at what you might call record time. Some people experience months or years of therapy to get the insights you're currently having in moments. They work for decades to develop the boundaries you're currently setting naturally. They struggle their whole lives to find the self-acceptance you're currently embodying. This reflection invites you to consider, are you recognizing how far you've already come? You may notice that challenges that used to completely derail you now just don't. You feel them. You acknowledge them. But they don't define your entire day anymore. They don't convince you that everything is falling apart. That resilience, that's real. That's yours. That's the blessing nobody can take away. Let me talk about what might be present in your experience around your dreams right now. It's possible there's something you've been wanting, something you've been working toward, and you're currently closer to it than you realize. Not in some mystical future sense, but in actual present moment proximity. You may notice small pieces of it already showing up in your life. Conversations that align with what you want, opportunities that point in that direction, skills you're developing that serve that vision. This reflection invites you to consider, what if the manifestation isn't a single dramatic moment, but a series of present moments that you're already living? In some situations, we miss our own progress because we're expecting a finish line. But what if there is no finish line? What if the dream manifesting looks like you becoming someone who naturally lives in alignment with what you want? You might be experiencing moments right now where you catch yourself doing something that the old version of you couldn't have done. Speaking up in a meeting, setting a boundary with family, making a decision without seeking everyone's approval first. Those moments, that's the dream manifesting in real time, right now. There's something I keep sensing about protection around what you're currently building. Not future protection, but present immunity. Some people experience this as a feeling that their growth is somehow sheltered, that even when external circumstances are chaotic is less than #0. 5# is greater than, there's this inner space that remains untouched, unmoved, unshakable. It can feel like you're watching drama unfold around you, maybe at work or in your family or online. And instead of getting pulled into it like you used to, you just observe. You feel compassion, maybe, but you don't absorb it into your body anymore. That boundary, that's the blessing, and it's already active. This reflection invites you to consider what used to disturb your peace that doesn't anymore. You may notice you're currently less affected by other people's opinions, not because you've decided not to care, but because something inside you has settled into its own truth so deeply that external voices just don't penetrate the way they used to. In some situations, when we finally claim our own authority, the noise around us doesn't actually get quieter. We just become more grounded in ourselves. Let me talk about what's happening with your sense of time right now. It's possible you're experiencing this strange awareness that things are moving faster than they logically should. You're learning faster, growing faster, changing faster, not at some point in the future, but right now in your current experience. Some people experience this as looking back at where they were 6 months ago and barely recognizing that person. The growth that usually takes years happened in months. The healing that usually takes decades happened in weeks. You may notice you're currently integrating lessons at a pace that surprises you. Something that would have taken you months to process a year ago now takes you days, or hours, or moments. That acceleration, that's real. That's happening. That's your current reality. This reflection invites you to consider, what lesson did you recently integrate that would have destroyed you a year ago? There's something about your current state that carries this quality of earned wisdom, not book learning, but lived understanding. You know things now in your bones that you used to only know in your head. It can feel like someone is complaining about a situation you used to complain about. And instead of commiserating, you just feel distant from it, like you remember being there, but you can't quite access that frequency anymore. That evolution, that's the blessing, and it's already complete in this particular area. You remain in complete control of your choices here. You can doubt your progress, you can minimize your growth, you can tell yourself it's not real or not enough or not happening fast enough, or you can acknowledge what's already true. You can honor how far you've already come. You can claim the transformation that's already occurred. The power is yours. It always has been. Let me talk about what might be present in your experience around worthiness right now. It's possible you're currently sitting with a different relationship to your own value. Not a future relationship, but a present one. You may notice you're less willing to accept treatment that doesn't match your worth, less willing to stay in situations that diminish you, less willing to perform for approval. In some situations, this looks like suddenly walking away from something everyone else thinks you should stay in. Not because you've become difficult, but because you've become clear. This reflection invites you to consider, what are you currently unwilling to tolerate that you would have accepted before? There's something I keep sensing about your dream being more grounded in reality than you're acknowledging, not in the clouds somewhere, not in some distant future, but here, now, taking shape in your actual life. Some people experience this as small signs that they dismiss as coincidence. The right person reaches out, the right opportunity appears, the right information arrives. And instead of recognizing it as their dream taking form, they think that's nice, but it's not the real thing yet. But what if it is the real thing? What if your dream manifesting looks like this, like practical steps, like real conversations, like actual opportunities that require actual work? You may notice you're currently doing things that align with what you say you want. You're showing up differently. You're making different choices. You're prioritizing different things. That alignment, that's manifestation. Not waiting to manifest, actually manifesting right now. Let me be really honest about something. The energy I'm picking up on suggests you're currently in a state of receiving, not preparing to receive, actually receiving. But you might be so focused on what hasn't arrived yet that you're missing what's already here. It's possible you're currently experiencing small victories that you're dismissing as insignificant, a compliment that actually landed, a boundary that held, a choice you made that honored yourself. This reflection invites you to consider, what if those aren't separate from the big blessing? What if they are the blessing in its current form? In some situations, we miss our own miracles because we're expecting them to look more miraculous, but transformation in real life often looks ordinary. It looks like Tuesday. It looks like doing the dishes with a different mindset. It looks like not reacting the way you used to. You may notice moments where you surprise yourself with your own calmness, your own clarity, your own strength. And instead of celebrating those moments, you move right past them to focus on what's still not right. But those moments, that's the blessing revealing itself in real time, right now. There's something about protection I keep coming back to, this sense that what you're currently building is somehow safeguarded. Some people experience this as discovering that situations they thought would destroy them actually made them stronger, or that people they thought could hurt them actually can't touch what matters most. It can feel like you're finally understanding that your peace, your worth, your truth, these things live inside you, and nobody can take them unless you give them away. That understanding, that's the blessing nobody can take away, and you already have it. This reflection invites you to consider, what part of yourself have you reclaimed lately that you used to give away freely? You may notice you're currently less reactive, less defensive, less desperate for everyone to understand you. In some situations, when we finally stop needing external validation, we become impossible to shake. Not because we're rigid, but because we're rooted. Let me talk about what's real right now in your experience. It's possible the thing you've been calling your dream is already partially here. Maybe it's not the full version you imagined. Maybe it doesn't look exactly how you thought, but elements of it, they're present, they're real, they're yours. Some people experience this as finally doing the work they always wanted to do, even if it's not in the exact context they imagined, or being the person they always wanted to be, even if their circumstances haven't fully shifted yet. This reflection invites you to consider, in what ways are you already living your dream right now? You may notice you're currently more yourself than you've ever been, more honest, more authentic, more willing to disappoint people rather than betray yourself. That authenticity, that's the blessing. And it's already active, already real, already yours. Nobody can take it from you because it's not external. It's not dependent on circumstances or other people or perfect conditions. It's who you are. Right now, in this moment, take what resonates from this, leave what doesn't, trust your inner knowing about what's true for you. Before we close, I want to ask you something. What's one blessing in your life right now that you might be taking for granted? Something that's already present that you're not fully appreciating? Drop it in the comments if you feel called to share. And here's another question. What part of your dream is already manifesting that you might be dismissing as not enough yet? What would shift if you fully claimed what you already have instead of focusing only on what's still missing? A blessing no one can take away? It's already yours. Your dream manifesting in record time? It's already happening. This is real? It already is. Not someday, today. Trust yourself with this. Trust what you're currently experiencing. Trust the growth that's already occurred. Trust the blessing that's already present. You don't need to wait for permission to claim what's already true. You already have it. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, the blessing you're looking for might already be the one you're living.